thought, hey, just recording sounds for the next sample pack up in my favorite place, up in the mountains, and I wanted to show you in this video how I merge ambient field recordings with synths and create a harmonic and cohesive whole throughout your production by basing everything around the field recording. So I really love this technique, and it'll work for whatever genre you want really, especially like dub techno and organic house style things. I'll be making dub chords. If you guys want more content like this, samples, Ableton live sets and more, that's all available on my Patreon. There's a link for that right here and down in the comments. Let's get to it.
Okay guys, so the basis of the technique is you want to find the key of your field recording. So I've got a sample here of some river water, which is from a sample pack I put out. There's a link for that right here and down in the comments. It's full of nice crystal clear nature samples. So I want to find the key of this sample. So I've dragged it into the arrangement view and I've disabled warp. So we've just got a clean sample with no processing going on or anything. And to find out the key of this sample, what I'm going to do is transpose it up in octaves. So it gets really high pitched, okay? So I've enabled warp, and I'm going to go down and change the warp algorithm to repitch, okay? And then you see that little 2 there, you can make it twice as short, which pitches it up an octave, and then just keep doing it. And it's pitching up in octaves, right? Until you've got like a fairly high pitched constant tone. Now, you want to grab a synth. I'm going to use Wavetable, and I just want a sine wave. And what I'm going to do right now is just play up and down on the keyboard and just use my ear and listen carefully until it feels like I strike a note but syncs up with that sample, right? It just sounds right with that sample. So just keep playing around, maybe try a different octave, just keep pressing notes, and eventually you'll touch one and it'll be like, yeah, that one feels right. So this can take a while, but make sure you take your time and get it right, because the whole of your tune is going to be based off of this first assessment of what key that sample's in. So I got a key of F. F felt right to me, okay? So I'm just going to I'm going to go into the fine-tuning of the synth right here and just move it up and down and just see if it feels better up or down. And right there it feels, to me it feels pretty good on -0.8 on the fine-tune there. So I've brought the sample back down to its original pitch, so it's just a raw unprocessed sample now. But it's we know what key it's in, right? And the idea now is to basically program some chords. Like in this case, I want to make some dub chords. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to make a sequence here. And just have like minor triad chords, okay? But the root note is going to be sitting on F. Okay guys, so I made some dub chords using that same MIDI data. If you want to see the full video of how I actually programmed these chords and everything, that's up on my Patreon. I'll put a link here. But just for this video, I just want to show you the technique, okay? So you've got the sample, the field recording, and your chords, okay? The next step, which is a really good thing to do, is just to group them together into a group, so we can apply some common effects to them. So what I've done is I've got them running into a reverb and some compression. Putting them into a reverb firstly gets the two sounds playing into a similar space in a way, and I've put some compression on afterwards so that when the dub chord hits, it kind of ducks out the field recording a little bit, and that can be a nice effect. Just compressing sounds together can help to put them in the same space. Our ears hear that and they think the two sounds belong together in a way. But experiment what you want to put on the bus, maybe saturation or whatever. Alright guys, so this next technique I want to show you is super easy and super cool way to get like a little percussive layer which will suit your field recording. So what I've done here is I've duplicated the field recording track, okay? And I've enabled warp mode and I've changed it to beats. And right here in the transient preservation section, I've changed it to that single arrow and I've reduced it down. So basically, it's got rid of everything except for the transient information. And therefore, it's turned the sample into percussion, basically. So which happens to be in the exact key what the field recording is in. It is the field recording, right? But we've just changed it into like hi-hats basically. And what I'm doing right now is I'm just using the warp markers and I'm just dragging them onto grid fairly roughly. There's no real strict pattern I'm going for. I'm just making sure they're on grid. Okay? The pattern doesn't matter too much. Now I'm just going to loop that. And instantly we have hi-hats which fit in with our harmonic bed here, and I'm just going to process them, EQ them a little bit, process them however you want, maybe put a little tight reverb on them or whatever, but yeah, super cool, quick and easy trick in Ableton. Alright guys, so I'm grabbing more percussion, which I want to layer on the track, and I'm going to show you the technique I use to get the percussion to fit everything harmonically. So I've got a sample here of some temple drums, which is again from Sounds of a Forgotten World 2. There's a link for the sample pack right here and down in the comments. And the basis of the idea is, what you want to do again is just create a tight loop around your percussion sound. So I put in a MIDI clip, and I'm just going to change it to 16th note, okay? And that way, when I go into the sampler here, I'm going to transpose it right up, until it just sounds like it's in key with the rest of the elements. So just keep transposing it around until it just sounds right. It can take a while, but take your time with it. Just so plus 11 semitones works, and then just pitch it down in octaves until you hit the octave you like, which just sounds good with your tune. So and just keep going through, guys. I use this technique with every percussion sample, like your hi-hats, your kick drum, whatever you're adding, just use this technique, alright? And everything will just slot into place and you won't really need to do much mixing. Alright guys, so I got a bunch more drums and tuned them all to the harmonic bed, and I now want to add a synth. And so what I'm doing is I'm just going through some presets here, and I'm just going to find a pad sound which I think fits the tune. And let's load that up. And now the key is just copy the tuning of your dub chord or whatever your chords were which you first came up with, right? So mine were -8 on the fine tune, so I'm just going to go into Wavetable's oscillators here and tune them to fit that chord we had. So this oscillator is at -2 already, so I'm going to put it to -10, and oscillator 2 I'm going to put it to -8 on the fine tune. Now in theory what we play should be in key. If you play the note of F, it should sync right up with everything, like the field recording, the dub chords, the other percussion samples. So yeah, that's sounding good to me, and the technique's working out.